Sky bleeds into the sea, sunsets ignite myths, and every step you take feels like walking through a painting? That place exists. Welcome to Santorini, the crown jewel of the Greek islands, and the first stop on our journey through Europe's most mesmerizing islands. This isn't just a vacation spot. It's an emotional experience, etched into whitewashed walls, cascading cliffs, and sapphire domes. Whether you're dreaming of romance, searching for soul-stirring landscapes, or just craving a timeless escape, Santorini delivers a reality more vivid than your imagination. Nestled in the southern Aegean Sea, Santorini is a volcanic island sculpted by a cataclysmic eruption more than 30 years ago. The caldera it left behind now cradles the shimmering sea, while villages like Oya and Hvar cling dramatically to its rim, offering panoramic views that steal your breath and never give it back. The island's unique geography creates natural amphitheaters for the sun to put on a show each evening, igniting the horizon in hues of fire and gold. As you stroll through Oya's narrow alleys, past bougainvillea-covered staircases and quaint boutiques, you'll understand why this island has become a symbol of romance. The whitewashed buildings, often topped with the iconic blue domes of Greek Orthodox churches, are more than just beautiful architecture. They're an invitation to slow down, breathe deep, and let go. But Santorini isn't just about postcard-perfect views. Venture inland and you'll find vineyards producing some of Greece's finest wines, thanks to the island's mineral-rich volcanic soil. The Assyrtiko grape reigns supreme here, offering crisp, citrusy whites that pair perfectly with fresh seafood served in cliffside tavernas. Sip a glass of Vinsanto, a sun-dried dessert wine, while the light dances on the caldera, and you'll understand why the gods themselves were said to favor this land. If you're craving adventure, rent an ATV and explore the island's contrasting landscapes, from the stark black sands of Parissa and Kamari beaches to the haunting red cliffs of Akrotiri. And speaking of Akrotiri, don't miss the ancient Minoan ruins buried beneath volcanic ash. Often dubbed the Pompeii of the Aegean, here, you'll walk through the remnants of a civilization frozen in time, with multi-storied buildings, intricate frescoes, and a mysterious silence that lingers in the air. For a truly unforgettable day, take a boat tour across the caldera. You can hike the active volcano of Nea Kameni, bathe in natural hot springs, and watch steam rise from the earth itself. These otherworldly moments make Santorini feel less like a vacation and more like a pilgrimage to the edge of the earth. And yet, despite its fame, Santorini has managed to hold on to its soul. Wander beyond the main villages and you'll discover peaceful hamlets like Pyrgos, where time seems to move slower. Locals gather at small cafes to drink strong Greek coffee and share stories under the shade of olive trees. It's in these quiet corners that the real magic of Santorini reveals itself, not in grand gestures, but in subtle moments. Whether you're visiting for a honeymoon, a solo journey, or simply to chase beauty, Santorini doesn't just meet expectations, it redefines them. It whispers to your soul, reminding you of the power of light, color, and silence. And as you stand at the edge of the caldera, watching the sun dip into the endless blue, you'll feel what so many before you have felt, that somehow, some way, this place knows you. So pack your camera, but more importantly, pack your wonder. Because Santorini isn't just a destination, it's a revelation. And it's only the beginning. What if I told you there's a floating garden in the middle of the Atlantic? A place where every turn of the road reveals a new paradise, cliffs that fall into the sea, ancient forests shrouded in mist, waterfalls that tumble from volcanic heights. This isn't a dream or a fairy tale. This is Madeira, Portugal's island of eternal spring, often overshadowed by mainland Europe. Madeira is one of the continent's best-kept secrets, a place that stuns without screaming for attention. And once you arrive, you'll wonder why you didn't come sooner. Floating 600 miles southwest of Lisbon, Madeira is an autonomous region of Portugal that feels like a world apart. Thanks to its subtropical climate and fertile volcanic soil, the island blooms year-round with hibiscus, orchids, and birds of paradise. Nature doesn't just thrive here, it performs. Start your journey in Funchal, the island's colorful capital, where cobbled streets, painted doors, and bustling markets blend old-world charm with modern energy. Stroll through the Mercado dos Lavradores, where locals sell everything from fresh tuna to exotic fruits you've never tasted before, like the custard apple-like Anona or the banana-pineapple hybrid that will blow your mind. But the real adventure begins when you leave the city behind. Madeira's interior is a hiker's paradise, carved with Levada's ancient irrigation channels that double as scenic trails. These paths wind through emerald forests, cliffside ridges, and remote valleys echoing with birdsong and cascading water. The Levada do Caldera Verde is a must, a trail that weaves through a prehistoric laurel forest straight out of a Tolkien novel, ending at a waterfall so serene it feels sacred. And then there's Pico do Arriero, one of the island's highest peaks. Wake before dawn and drive above the clouds to witness sunrise from a mountaintop trail that looks more like Hawaii than Europe. Jagged ridgelines stretch into the mist, golden light floods the sky, and the silence feels holy. This is the kind of moment you don't just photograph, you live it with your entire being. Prefer coastline over craters? Madeira's dramatic cliffs and natural pools deliver. Head to Porto Moniz, where ancient lava flows have formed crystal-clear swimming holes right at the edge of the ocean. The waves crash nearby, but you float safely in nature's infinity pool, surrounded by raw beauty on all sides. For a taste of history and adrenaline, ride a wicker toboggan from the hilltop town of Monte. Yes, you heard that right, a wicker basket on wooden runners, steered by men in straw hats down steep, winding roads. It's a centuries-old tradition and one of Madeira's quirkiest thrills. And let's not forget the food. Madeira's cuisine is rustic, flavorful, and deeply satisfying. Try espada.com banana, a strange-sounding but delicious dish of black scabbardfish with fried banana. Or tuck into espetada, juicy beef skewers grilled over wood fires and served on bay leaves for extra aroma. Wash it down with poncha, a local sugarcane spirit mixed with honey and lemon, deceptively sweet and incredibly strong. But Madeira isn't just about nature and food. It's a feeling of calm, of awe, of being completely present. Even the air here smells different, perfumed by flowers and ocean spray. The people are warm, the pace is slow, and the energy is healing. Whether you're exploring the rugged cliffs of Ponta de São Lourenço or simply watching the sun melt into the Atlantic from a quiet terrace, Madeira invites you to exhale deeply and fully. It's no wonder Winston Churchill once called Madeira the most beautiful place I've ever seen. And it's not just the scenery, it's the balance. The perfect mix of wilderness and comfort, seclusion and culture, adventure and peace. Madeira may not be as famous as Santorini or as flashy as Ibiza, but maybe that's the point. It's not a place you visit to be seen. It's a place you visit to see, to really see the beauty of the world, and maybe even a part of yourself. So if you're searching for a destination that surprises, nourishes, and enchants, look no further. Madeira is not just an island, it's a sanctuary, and it's waiting for you. What if the most magical island in Italy wasn't Capri or Sicily, but a lesser-known gem rising quietly from the Tyrrhenian Sea? A place where ancient volcanic power meets Mediterranean elegance, where thermal waters bubble from the earth and medieval castles guard sun-drenched coastlines. Welcome to Ischia, the secret island the Italians whisper about, a sanctuary of wellness, myth, and staggering beauty. If you've never heard of it, don't worry. That just means you're in for an even greater surprise. Tucked in the Gulf of Naples, just an hour's ferry ride from the chaos of the city, Ischia feels like stepping into another world. Unlike the tourist-packed Amalfi Coast, this island breathes with local life. It's where Italian families vacation, where time moves slower, and where nature works hand in hand with centuries of tradition to offer one of Europe's most rejuvenating escapes. The soul of Ischia lies in its volcanic roots, quite literally. The island is a geothermal wonderland, home to more than 100 hot springs and natural spas. Imagine soaking in warm, mineral-rich pools with views of the sea, surrounded by tropical plants and lemon groves. That's the daily reality in places like Poseidon Thermal Gardens, a luxurious complex of 20 giaon, pools set right on the coastline of Forio. Each one is a different temperature, and each promises to ease your muscles and clear your mind. But the magic doesn't stop at the spas. Ischia is a visual feast. Verdant mountains rise sharply from the ocean, vineyards stretch across hillsides, and pastel-colored fishing villages dot the coast. The island is lush, alive, and layered with surprises. One of the most jaw-dropping sights is Castello Aragonese, a medieval fortress perched on a rocky islet connected to Ischia Ponte by a narrow causeway. Originally built in 474 BC and expanded by the Aragonese dynasty, the castle feels like a dreamscape with panoramic views, haunting catacombs, and peaceful chapels. It's the kind of place that makes history feel immediate and alive, especially as the sea breeze flows through its ancient halls. And speaking of nature, don't miss a hike to Mount Epomeo, the island's highest point. The trek begins in shaded chestnut forests and ends with sweeping vistas over the Bay of Naples and neighboring islands like Procida and Capri. On a clear day, you can even spot Mount Vesuvius looming in the distance, a silent reminder of the volcanic force that shaped this entire region. Ischia also boasts some of the most inviting beaches in southern Italy. From the golden sands of Maranti Beach to the hidden coves near Sant'Angelo, a charming, car-free village that feels untouched by time, the island offers a perfect balance of relaxation and discovery. Take a dip in the warm coastal waters or hop on a small boat for a private view of the island's rugged cliffs and hidden grottos. The food? Pure Mediterranean magic. Fresh seafood, sun-ripened tomatoes, and locally made white wine are just the beginning. Try coniglio all'Ischitana, a rustic rabbit stew cooked with herbs and white wine, a nod to the island's agricultural past. Or savor a simple dish of grilled swordfish, served al fresco as the sun dips below the horizon. What truly sets Ischia apart, though, is its atmosphere. There's a gentle warmth here, not just from the sun or the thermal springs, but from the people, the pace, the quiet dignity of a place that doesn't need to try hard to impress. It's felt in the small moments. A smile from a shopkeeper, the smell of jasmine at night, the sound of waves lapping against ancient stone. If you're tired of tourist traps and crave something more authentic, a destination where nature and culture flow in perfect harmony, Ischia might be exactly what your soul needs. It's not just an island. It's a living, breathing invitation to heal, to wander, and to feel deeply again. So, take the ferry, walk its hidden paths, soak in its healing waters. Let Ischia surprise you, and it will. Because sometimes, the best destinations are the ones quietly waiting for you to find them. What if paradise came with lavender-scented breezes, Venetian stone architecture, and an endless coastline bathed in sunlight over 270 days a year? That place isn't in the Caribbean or the South Pacific, it's right in the heart of the Adriatic. Welcome to Hvar, Croatia's sunniest, most seductive island. It may be known to some as a glamorous hotspot for yachts and celebrities, but there's so much more beneath the surface. Hvar isn't just an escape, it's a carefully balanced blend of ancient beauty, vibrant nightlife, and wild, untouched nature. And once you experience it, you won't want to leave. Located just off the Dalmatian coast, Hvar is a jewel of the Croatian archipelago. While the glitter of its elite summer scene often makes headlines, the island holds centuries of rich history and secret coves that reveal a quieter, deeper side of this Mediterranean marvel. Whether you're chasing adventure or just a perfect moment by the sea, Hvar delivers with effortless charm. Your journey begins in Hvar town, a spectacular blend of Renaissance and Gothic architecture, nestled along a picturesque harbor. Here, limestone-paved streets shimmer under the sun, and cafes spill out into scenic squares buzzing with laughter and clinking glasses. Above it all looms Fortica Fortress, an ancient stronghold with sweeping views of the red-roofed town and the Faroe Islands shimmering just offshore. The climb is worth every step, especially at sunset, when the entire bay glows gold and the sea becomes a mirror. But Hvar is not just about its town, it's about the rhythm of island life. Sail to the Faroe Islands, a collection of pine-covered islets just a short boat ride away. These waters are crystal clear, calm, and perfect for swimming, snorkeling, or simply floating under the sky. Anchor in secluded coves like Palmazana, where restaurants serve grilled seafood under olive trees and hammocks sway gently between palms. For something even more serene, head inland to Stari Grad, one of the oldest towns in Europe, founded by the ancient Greeks in 384 BC. Here, history whispers from every stone. You'll wander through sleepy alleyways where time seems to pause, past vineyards and olive groves that have been tended for generations. The Stari Grad Plain, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a perfect example of ancient agricultural planning that's still in use today. And then there's the Lavender. Visit in late June or early July, and the island bursts into bloom. Hillsides are blanketed in purple, and the air is thick with the calming, herbal scent of wild lavender. Local shops sell everything from essential oils to lavender honey, all made on the island. It's not just a fragrance, it's part of Hvar's soul. Looking for nightlife? What transforms after dark? The harbor comes alive with music, beach bars, and open-air lounges. Whether you're dancing at Carpe Diem until dawn or sipping cocktails by candlelight at a seaside cafe, the vibe is electric but never overwhelming. It's stylish without being snobbish, a perfect harmony of elegance and energy. And the cuisine? Hvar's culinary scene is grounded in simplicity and freshness. Think black risotto with squid ink, grilled Adriatic octopus, and local cheeses aged in olive oil. Pair it all with plavak mali, a robust red wine made from grapes grown in Hvar's sun-soaked vineyards. Every bite is a celebration of land and sea, earthy, salty, and honest. But beyond the beauty, beyond the parties and postcard views, Hvar invites something more personal. It gives you permission to slow down, to lose track of time, to listen to the cicadas, to feel the warmth of ancient stones beneath your feet. It's not a place you check off your travel list. It's a place you carry with you long after you've left. So come for the sun, it shines nearly every day. Stay for the spirit, it's what makes Hvar unforgettable. This isn't just one of Europe's most beautiful islands. It's a reminder that the best things in life can be both glamorous and grounded, ancient and alive, simple and spectacular all at once. What if you could walk from a tropical forest to a volcanic desert in a single day? Or watch snow-capped peaks rise above black sand beaches? Tenerife is not a dream, it's a real island, and it's unlike any other in Europe. Often referred to as the island of eternal spring, Tenerife is the largest and most diverse of Spain's Canary Islands. It's not just one destination, it's a world of contrasts compressed into a single, unforgettable experience. If you think you know island travel, Tenerife will make you think again. Floating off the northwestern coast of Africa, but governed by Spain, Tenerife is a place of wild landscapes and wild freedom. Here, sun lovers, hikers, foodies, surfers, and stargazers all find something to fall in love with. It's an island where every corner offers something completely different and completely astonishing. Start with the heart of the island, Teide National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and home to Mount Teide, the highest peak in Spain and the third tallest volcano in the world when measured from the ocean floor. The landscape here feels marsh in a surreal mix of lava fields, jagged rocks, and vast plains bathed in golden light. Ride the cable car up to 12,000 feet, and you'll find yourself standing above the clouds, surrounded by silence and space. At night, the park becomes one of the best stargazing spots on Earth. The Milky Way glows vividly, and the air feels thin with wonder. But Tenerife is not all rugged wilderness. The northern side of the island is a green oasis, home to ancient laurel forests and dramatic cliffs plunging into the Atlantic. Drive through Anaga Rural Park, and you'll swear you've stumbled into Jurassic Park. Mist drapes the mossy trees, winding trails disappear into the fog, and every bend reveals a new piece of unspoiled nature. It's raw, it's mystical, and it feels untouched by time. Contrast that with the southern coast, where the island's sunshine capital thrives. Resorts like Costa Adaje and Los Cristianos offer golden beaches, luxury hotels, vibrant nightlife, and water sport adventures. Whether you're paddleboarding along the coast, diving with sea turtles, or catching waves at Playa de las Americas, the southern beaches are where energy and relaxation coexist. And then there's the coastline, some of the most varied in Europe. You'll find black sand beaches like Playa Jardín, designed by legendary artist Cesar Manrique, or dramatic cliff-backed shores like Los Gigantes, where giant stone walls rise straight out of the ocean. It's all volcanic, all unique, and absolutely breathtaking. The island's towns add another layer of magic. Explore the colorful streets of La Rotava, where colonial architecture and cobbled alleys tell stories of a rich past. Or wander through San Cristobal de la Laguna, Tenerife's former capital, and a UNESCO-listed city of churches, mansions, and artistic soul. These towns aren't just pretty, they're alive with history and culture. Food on Tenerife is its own revelation. Influenced by Spanish, African, and Latin American flavors, Canarian cuisine is rustic, flavorful, and soul-satisfying. Try papas arrugadas, salt-crusted wrinkled potatoes served with mojo sauces, green and red garlic chili concoctions that you'll want to take home by the bottle. Pair it with fresh grilled fish, gofio, a toasted cornflour staple, and local wines from vineyards that cling to volcanic slopes. But perhaps the most surprising thing about Tenerife is its soul. It's not just the landscapes or the beaches, it's the sense of space, of possibility. Whether you're hiking ancient trails above the clouds, sipping espresso in a shaded plaza, or watching dolphins leap beside your boat, there's a feeling here that's hard to explain and impossible to forget. Tenerife isn't flashy. It doesn't beg for your attention. It just offers you everything and trusts that you'll find what you're looking for. Adventure or serenity, culture or nature, warmth, color, energy, silence. So don't come with expectations. Come with curiosity. Because Tenerife isn't just another European island, it's all of Europe's wildest dreams stitched into one. What if an island could whisper the stories of empires, roar with untamed mountains, and sing with Mediterranean serenity all at once? Welcome to Corsica, France's wild child, a land of fierce independence, staggering beauty, and unshakable soul. Nicknamed L'Île de Beauté, or the Island of Beauty, Corsica is more than just a pretty place. It's a living, breathing contradiction. French, but not entirely. Italian, but not quite. And absolutely unforgettable from the moment you step ashore. Set in the heart of the Mediterranean, just north of Sardinia, Corsica rises abruptly from the sea like a fortress sculpted by nature. Its coastline stretches over 600 miles, carved with hidden coves and turquoise bays, while its rugged interior explodes with granite peaks, pine forests, and ancient stone villages. If you're looking for an island that's both luxurious and wild, cultured and primal, Corsica is your dream in high definition. Begin your journey in Bonifacio, a medieval citadel perched dramatically on limestone cliffs that plunge straight into the sea. The town is impossibly picturesque, narrow alleys lined with pastel buildings, ancient churches, and bustling cafes, but it's the view that will stop you cold. Stand at the edge of the cliffside promenade and gaze at the azure stretch of sea that separates Corsica from Sardinia. On a clear day, you can see Italy from here. At sunset, the cliffs glow like gold, and the citadel feels like something out of a legend. Drive inland, and Corsica's true heart begins to reveal itself. The GR20, often called Europe's toughest long-distance hiking trail, slices across the island from north to south. It's a challenge, a 112-mile path through jagged peaks, alpine lakes, and remote shepherd hamlets. But even a short trek, along one of its segments offers breathtaking rewards. Untouched nature, clean mountain air, and silence broken only by the wind and the distant clang of goat bells. Corsica's beaches, though, are anything but silent. From the Caribbean blue waters of Palombagia to the red granite coves of Piena, the island boasts some of Europe's most stunning and diverse shores. Unlike the polished resorts of the Riviera, Corsican beaches feel wild and organic. Some are accessible only by boat or long walks through pine-scented trails, but the payoff is privacy and pristine natural beauty. Dive in, and the water is warm, clear, and impossibly inviting. And then there's Cap Corse, the finger-like peninsula at the island's northern tip. A road trip here is like driving through a living postcard. Fishing villages like Santorini, where lobster is king, hilltop chapels overlooking wild seas, and vineyards producing crisp whites and aromatic muscats. It's Corsica, in miniature, untamed, proud, and quietly spectacular. No visit to Corsica is complete without diving into its complex identity. Though part of France, Corsica speaks its own language literally and culturally. Corsu, the native tongue, echoes Italian roots and is still spoken in many villages. Locals are famously proud of their heritage, and while French is the official language, you'll often hear traditional polyphonic songs rising from churches or town squares. It's haunting, beautiful, and completely unique. The cuisine reflects this blend of influences, combining French finesse with rustic Mediterranean heart. Expect wild boar, stew, chestnut, polenta, sheep's milk, cheese like brocu, and cured meats flavored with herbs from the maquis, the island's aromatic shrubland. Everything tastes like the land it came from, bold, pure, and fiercely local. In cities like Ajaccio, Napoleon's birthplace, and Corte, the former island capital tucked high in the mountains, you'll feel Corsica's rebellious spirit. These aren't places polished for tourists. They are real, alive, and unapologetically themselves. Corsica doesn't perform for anyone, and that's what makes it magnetic. If you're looking for the polished gloss of other Mediterranean islands, you might not find it here. But if you're drawn to wild coastlines, alpine peaks, ancient traditions, and a people who guard their island like a precious secret, Corsica will welcome you with open arms and a stubborn smile. It's not just another beach destination. It's an island that demands respect, invites exploration, and rewards curiosity with raw, unfiltered beauty. Corsica isn't just beautiful, it's beautiful on its own terms. And in a world of over-curated travel experiences, that makes all the difference. Imagine a place where volcanic craters cradle turquoise lakes, steaming geysers bubble beside hydrangea-lined roads, and the Atlantic crashes against jagged cliffs shrouded in mist. You're not dreaming, you've just discovered São Miguel, the crown jewel of Portugal's Azores archipelago. Often called the Green Island, São Miguel is one of Europe's last truly untamed frontiers, a surreal blend of Icelandic drama, tropical lushness, and old-world charm. And the best part? Hardly anyone knows it exists. Located nearly 900 miles west of mainland Portugal, the Azores feel like another planet. São Miguel, the largest of the 9 volcanic islands, is an untouched Eden sculpted by fire and softened by time. If you're chasing landscapes that stir the soul and serenity that calms the mind, this island will take your breath and never give it back. Begin your journey at Sete Cidades, São Miguel's most iconic site. 2 crater lakes, one blue, one green, fill the mouth of an ancient volcano, separated only by a narrow bridge. Legend says they were born from the tears of a forbidden love between a blue-eyed princess and a green-eyed shepherd. Whether myth or geology, the view from Vista do Rei will silence you. Standing on the rim of the caldera, clouds drifting through the peaks, the lakes shimmering below, it feels like time has folded in on itself. But São Miguel isn't just about the views, it's about the living, breathing earth. Drive to Furnas, and you'll smell the change before you see it. This volcanic valley is alive with geothermal activity. Hot spring steam beside the road, mud pots bubble in the earth, and the air carries a faint scent of sulfur and pine. Here, you can soak in the mineral-rich waters of Terra Nostra Park, where the thermal pool is surrounded by a 200-year-old botanical garden, lush, dense, and dreamlike. And then there's the food. In Furnas, locals harness the earth's heat to cook cozido das furnas, a traditional Portuguese stew slow-cooked underground. Pots filled with meats, vegetables, and spices are buried in volcanic soil and left to steam for hours. The result is rich, tender, and infused with the power of the island itself. Eating it beside a smoking fumarole, with mist curling through the trees, is a meal you'll never forget. São Miguel also offers some of the most dramatic coastal scenery in Europe. Head to the island's northeast and you'll find Miraduro da Ponta do Sossego, a peaceful garden perched above towering sea cliffs. Below, waves pound the shore with primal force. Above, the land is carpeted in green and bursts with color. It's the kind of place where you linger longer than you planned, because you can't stop looking for something truly unique. Visit Lagoa do Fogo, the Lake of Fire. Tucked high in the island's mountains, this crater lake is often veiled in mist, making it feel like a secret whispered by the earth. On a clear day, the blue water gleams like a sapphire set in a crown of clouds. The hike down is steep, the silence intense, the reward immense. And then there are the tea plantations. Yes, tea in Europe. São Miguel is home to the only tea plantations on the continent, thanks to its fertile volcanic soil and gentle climate. Visit Goriana Tea Factory, in operation since 1883, and walk through rows of emerald bushes stretching toward the sea. The scent of black and green tea fills the air, and you'll taste the island's gentle rhythm in every sip. But São Miguel's greatest gift might be how it makes you feel. There are no massive resorts here, no traffic jams, no crowds, just winding roads, sleepy villages, kind people, and a pace of life that feels like a deep breath. Whether you're swimming in a hidden thermal spring beneath a waterfall or sitting quietly at a lookout, watching clouds roll through a mountain pass, this island speaks in quiet tones, and those are often the ones we need to hear most. In a world of over-touristed hotspots, São Miguel offers something increasingly rare: authenticity. It's not trying to be anything but itself: wild, warm, mysterious, and humbling. It asks nothing of you but your presence, and in return, it gives you peace, beauty, and the overwhelming feeling that you've stumbled upon something sacred. São Miguel is not just a destination, it's an awakening. What if the edge of the world wasn't an empty wasteland, but a place of soul-stirring silence, sculpted cliffs, and raw, untouched power? A place where grass-roofed cottages nestle against wind-swept fjords, waterfalls tumble from cloud-wrapped mountains, and the air itself feels ancient. Welcome to the Faroe Islands, a land not built for tourists, but for wonder. Suspended between Norway and Iceland, in the North Atlantic, this Danish archipelago is one of Europe's last true frontiers, and perhaps its most hauntingly beautiful. With just over 0 inhabitants spread across 18 volcanic islands, the Faroe Islands feel like the place Earth remembers how it used to be. Time stretches here. The noise of modern life fades, and in its place comes a deeper frequency: the wind, the waves, the call of seabirds, the silence between storms. Start your journey in Tórshavn, the world's smallest capital. With its brightly colored houses, quiet harbors, and turf-roofed parliament buildings, it feels more like a village than a city. Yet this tiny town pulses with Faroese pride in its art, music, and fiercely independent spirit. Walk the cobbled lanes of Tinganes, the historic district, and you'll be following footsteps laid nearly 1,000 years ago. But the real story begins when you leave the city behind. Drive into the wilderness, and the landscape opens like a myth. Towering cliffs rise from the sea like giants, carved by wind and ice. Villages like Gazadalur cling to impossible ledges, where just one road connects them to the rest of the world. From here, you'll witness one of the island's most iconic views: Mula waterfall, cascading directly into the ocean with a force that feels otherworldly. It's the kind of place that doesn't need filters, captions, or commentary. It speaks for itself. If you're chasing the wild, hike to Tralanipa, the Slave Cliff, a dramatic viewpoint where Lake Survaksvatin appears to float high above the sea. The optical illusion is stunning, but the raw power of nature is the real star. Waves crash far below, clouds race across the sky, and suddenly, you're not just seeing the landscape, you're feeling it in your bones. The Faroe Islands aren't about beaches or bars. They're about presence. You stand still, and the land moves. Mist rolls over green hills. Sheep outnumber people, and the rhythm of the islands takes over slow, elemental, and humbling. In Saxon, a remote village surrounded by mountains and tidal lagoons, you'll find silence that feels sacred. There's a tiny 17th century church, a handful of stone houses, and a view that has remained unchanged for centuries. Come at low tide and walk along the black sand beach, where the sea recedes like a curtain, revealing more of the island's secret theater. For bird lovers, My Kinds is a pilgrimage. This westernmost island is home to thousands of puffins, gannets, and fulmars that nest on steep cliffs and sea stacks. The hike to Mykinesholmer Lighthouse is unforgettable, a narrow path across a footbridge, suspended above waves that have never known rest. It's windy, it's remote, and it's pure magic. Despite their isolation, the Faroese people are incredibly welcoming. Their culture is rooted in storytelling, craftsmanship, and resilience. Traditional wool sweaters, fermented lamb, and fish dried in open-air sheds aren't tourist gimmicks. They're a way of life passed down through generations. And then there's the weather. Unpredictable, wild, and strangely perfect. Rain, sun, fog, snow, and rainbow can all occur in a single hour. But don't let it deter you, it's part of the island's enchantment. The Faroe Islands don't offer perfect weather. They offer perfect mood, atmosphere, emotion, drama. There are no massive resorts, no commercial tour buses, no artificial experiences. The Faroe Islands don't chase trends. They remain beautifully, unshakably themselves. And in doing so, they give you something increasingly rare: authenticity, stillness, and the permission to just be. As this journey across Europe's most amazing islands comes to an end, the Faroe Islands remind us of something deeper, that in a world constantly rushing forward, there's extraordinary power in standing still, in listening, in observing, in letting nature lead. So if your soul longs not just to travel, but to reconnect with the earth, with silence, and with something ancient inside yourself, the Faroe Islands are waiting, not to impress you, but to awaken you. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you.